Angel Heart Radio programs should not be used to replace your legal or medical advice. Angel Heart Radio is absolutely delighted to feature a hand-picked series of programs from How to Connect with Angels from filmmaker, producer and interviewer Sherry Lee Myers and her wonderful guests. Visit Sherry at theglitchmovie.com. And a warm welcome to all our How to Connect with Angels listeners. Welcome. We love having you here with us on Angel Heart Radio. Powered by love, Angel Heart Radio is sponsored by AngelLight777.com.
Hi there, this is Sherry Lee Myers. Welcome to How to Connect with Angels. We believe that no matter what, every person has the unconditional love and help of angels, our messengers from God. But we have to be willing to believe, and we have to be willing to ask. That's what our film, The Glitch, that we are shooting here in New Orleans is all about, with the help of some amazing music and talent. If you're curious, visit us at theglitchmovie.com and take a look. But now, right now, let's talk to someone who's devoted to helping us make a divine connection. Becky Devine, also known as BDevine, is a spiritual guide who has studied spirituality and healing and has been reading for others for over 25 years. She's the author of the Angelic Guidance System, Domino Angels, and a new book, Angelic Guidance. BDevine offers clear advice and assistance from the angels, guides, higher consciousness, and God, the source of all. She shows us that we all have abilities and how to open these easily. Good morning, Becky Devine. There you are in Adelaide, Australia.
Yes, good morning to you.
Oh, well, it's a lovely Saturday evening here in New Orleans. There's Mardi Gras right outside my window, and you are in Adelaide, Australia, and it's like 10:30 in the morning, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's raining, would you believe? It's been so hot since I got here, and now it's raining. So that's good. Perfect excuse to talk with you.
You're magnificent. You have a wonderful website. It's called Divine Miracles. Everyone, it's DEVINE, Divine Miracles. And yes. Becky Devine has been with this work of channeling and working with the spiritual realm for over 20 years. But the first beginning of your practice was when you were a 15-year-old, right?
Yeah. When I was 15, a neighbor, I was living in New York with my dad, believe it or not, and a neighbor gave me a set of mythic tarot cards, and I was terrified because my dad was so religious. Oh. And I was hiding these cards, and I thought, oh, but from then I started to read them when my dad wasn't around. I'd read them and read them and read them. And that's when I feel a connection started deeply with spirit and angels. However, I wasn't clicking on to what that was. I just thought I was being ever so naughty reading about these tarot cards. And if my dad found out, I was going to go to a really bad place when I died because I had these cards. But that's how I started when I was 15.
Wow.
So a long time ago now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then you picked them up again. Tell me about your life. Tell me about your life.
My life has been very interesting.
And it's going to be a book, I know. So you just I know. Give us the highlights.
I'm going to write all the stories into a book. But unfortunately, my parents split up when I was quite young. I was about 5 years old. My dad was from America, so he went back to America with my older brother, and I stayed with my mother in Adelaide in Australia. And terrible things sort of happened to me when I was little, and I was abused terribly by my stepfather, and unfortunately taken away, well, fortunately for me, but I was taken away from my parents, well, from my mum when I was about 12 and put into a home. So from that point, lots of different things happened to me, and this is things that people can resonate with as well. But then I went over to the United States when I was 13 to be with my dad. And unfortunately, he didn't know what to do with this 13-year-old girl. So he sort of tried to put me into different schoolings and different things. And I actually lived with Amish people and Hutterites and Mennonite people. So totally restricted, totally religious.
That is amazing.
I know. And I didn't know whether my dad was coming to pick me up again or what.
Oh,
he just sort of like put me there with them. And
wow.
I know.
I see a book. That is frustrating.
Yeah,
oh, honey, keep going.
All of the things. Yeah. So in that time, I knew that even though I was going through all of this stuff, I don't know how we know, but we sort of have this inner knowing that everything's going to be okay and that I'm going to get through this. And I could feel an energy, but I didn't want to, whenever I went to church with everybody, I just wanted to run out the back door. I didn't feel it was right what they were teaching me. However, you know, you sort of have to do these things. And anyway, eventually I got away and, you know, I went back home to Australia. I sort of worked as a nanny in New York with my dad eventually when I went back there, and worked for the Jewish people in New York as a nanny, and I loved it. And then I saved up, went back to Australia, and I tried to find my mum, and she'd moved and all of this had happened. I was homeless. I lived on the street for 3 months in and out of clothing bins and shelters and things like that. And eventually this guy came along and said, I'll look after you. And I thought, wow, you know, this is it. This is going to be my life. You know, here's the person I'm going to be with. He's going to look after me. And we ended up having 2 children. And I was very young at the time and very impressionable.
How young were you, darling?
I was 16.
Oh,
so,
Becky!
I know.
Oh my God!
I know.
Wow.
And I was just short of 17 when I had my first son.
Oh.
And I know. And all I thought was, I'm a mum and I'm going to do the right thing and I'm going to have this awesome family. But unfortunately, you know, my partner at the time was very, very violent and had a lot of issues. However, I was doing my cards at this point because I was away from my dad. I was away from all that religious stuff, and now I'm free to do my cards. And I started to do cards for my friends, and they'd be, oh, you know, this is really good. And I didn't realize I was, you know, bringing in energy from the angels or anything like that, but I would help people throughout all of these, you know, readings and things. And as I got older, I started to read more and develop myself and meditate, got away from the abuse finally and, you know, moved on with my life, ended up being a single mum with my boys for a really long time.
And where did you live? Where did you live?
Yeah, I lived in between Adelaide and Sydney. And
you were a single mom, and how did you support yourself?
I used to work, and I used to work 2 jobs, and one of them was a tow truck driver.
Oh, man.
Right?
Wow, that is...
So I'd be driving these trucks, and I'd be driving these tow trucks, and then also I'd be selling imported sports cars. So I was doing these 2 manly...
That's crazy.
But, you know, it sort of got us through. It wasn't until I was 32 that I actually got married. Up until that time, I'd, you know, been in abusive relationship, one after the other, and I just wanted someone that I could sit with spiritually, do my thing, and, you know, read the books that I want to read, write what I want to write, all that kind of stuff, without being so restricted. And it felt like I just kept meeting people that were restricting me. So that was my lesson somewhere along the line. But yeah, when I was 32, I ended up getting married. I was married for 8 years, and that was not what I thought at all. It was quiet and it was different, but it wasn't where I was at spiritually. And we moved on from each other. And I've since, in the last 2 years, met the person that I'm supposed to be with, my total twin flame. And we have our own, like he has his own work online as well.
Oh, and, that's so cool.
It's amazing. We're just able to connect spiritually, do what we do readings for each other, you know, heal with each other, and we're totally in sync with each other. So finally I got there.
You got there. You have a happy ending to share. I am so glad to hear that. I'm so glad to hear that you have someone who completely loves and supports and gets you, and vice versa. I've been watching you now with your videos, and I want to let people know that Becky does this incredibly generous thing, which is she does a reading, a live Facebook event, which is all of these people just pour in at the same time, and Becky goes for it and clears and reads for people and exudes this extraordinary healing, fun, wonderful energy. And I just got a dose of it, Becky, before we started. You're very, very healing. You're so healing. And I really, just to think of all that you have been through, and that you have this radiance, and you have this wonderful love in your life, and you have these ways that people can connect with you and through you to their angels, because you are all about people can do this for themselves.
Yeah, that's my biggest thing is, throughout my spiritual journey, I used to do the same thing. I'd say to myself, oh, I wish I could talk to the angels like that. Oh, I wish I could get messages like that person's getting messages, without realizing that I've been doing it myself the whole time, and not realizing that it was nudges from the divine. It's like when you ask for support and then you get it, sometimes people say, that can't be right. That can't be happening to me, because everything happens to me in a bad way, and people start to, you know what I mean? And I think the biggest message I have, or what I've been told to give, or what I feel to give, is unconditional love, and that we must have that unconditional love for ourselves, and that we have never been separated from the angels and source and God. Never. We're looking for the hand of God in everywhere else, and we forget ourselves. And that's what I'm trying to bring people back to, is opening up your heart to receive. Just say to yourself, I accept myself for who I am. And from there, you'll have confidence. And when you have confidence, then you have success. And when you're successful, then you've got abundance. And then when you've got abundance, you can share with everybody. Yeah. And, that's how I feel.
That's a great process.
And I feel so strongly about it. Yeah. Yeah.
You wrote in your book, now, this is the new book. It's called Angelic Guidance, right?
Yes.
Becky,
yep.
Becky, it's a beautiful, beautiful book. I would like to talk about some quotes that I pulled from Angelic Guidance.
Oh, okay.
Angels are the energy of love itself.
Yes. Angels are the energy of love itself. So when I say that, it's mainly for people who don't believe in angels and they believe in energy. So if we see angels as an energy of love, then it's a little bit different for us than believing in angels. So that's sort of written there for people who don't believe in the wings and all of that kind of stuff. But they do believe in energy. And the angels do tell me that they are different aspects of unconditional love. So when you're asking for guidance, the right angel or the right energy will come forward to give you guidance in a loving way,
Yes.
So that's how they work. It's brilliant.
It is brilliant. It is brilliant.
And it makes it simple to understand too.
It does. And now here's another thing that you wrote. You said your feeling becomes your vision. Your visual, if people have expectations of angels as a visual, they may be setting themselves up for a disappointment. It may not be that's the way that initially it happens, correct?
Yeah. It always happens with an inner feeling, and your feeling becomes the vision, as I explained. So when you're asking for angelic assistance, you'll get this feeling of what to do, and we all get it, but then we disregard it. Mm-hmm. Now, with that feeling, this is how I sort of work with my spirituality. My feeling becomes a knowing, and the knowing becomes words. Mm. So that's how the angels sort of work through me. It's not so much as seeing something standing there, like a being standing there, because I would be scared. I mean, anybody would be scared if suddenly there's something right there. But if you see it on your inner vision, then it becomes more natural to you. And from there, it'll get more and more and more until you will get that visual of seeing a being standing right in front of you, if that's what you're meant to do. And And then it won't be so unnatural because you've worked this all out in your process. You've worked it all out within yourself.
And it's unique to each person. Your blueprint is unique to you, and your visual is unique to you.
Yeah. And the angels often say to us, use your imagination, and within the imagination, then you will see something that you did not imagine.
Brilliant.
So that's the secret. That's the secret. We just use what we imagine them to be. And then as we're doing that whole thing and we're imagining and it's wonderful, suddenly something happens and we're like, ooh, it's real. And we will get it. We will get it. And once you get it just once, even just a smidgen, that just leads you into more and more and more. So it's such an easy thing.
It's an easy thing. But let's talk about the reason why this easy thing is difficult for folks.
Yeah, I can talk about that till the cows come home.
Yeah, well, let's start mooing here, babe, because you have this wonderful intertwining of your own personal story that you were talking about, and your understanding. And let me quote from the book, because you say, it is sad that so many do not reach out and expect goodness. So they refuse to ask for help. They refuse to accept that they are worthy of help.
Yeah. The worthiness issue is every single person's biggest problem or block to their spirituality. It's because we've always been told that we're bad, or we have to do so much in order to achieve. You know, we go to school and we must pass a test. So in some ways we feel like we need to suffer in order to succeed. And that even with connecting with angels, we feel like it must be this really hard process. And the worthiness issues come in because that's the bottom line. That's the biggest block. Most people think, why would an angel speak to me? I've done so many things that are wrong, you know. Yeah. An angel's not going to want to talk to me. Like, God's really angry with me. I mean, I felt the same way with my religion stuff. I thought, you know, I'm going to be in such trouble for looking at these cards, you know, and it terrified me for the longest time. And so many people are in that same sort of boat. And the worthiness issues came from, you know, just feeling never good enough, never quite good enough, even through school or with the right partner or in a job, you know, you're second best in the sports, you're not quite the leader. So we just give up. We kind of just think, well, you know, I'm never any good at anything, so why would they be talking to me? And we have to open up our worthiness. And, you know, it comes into that acceptance word again as well. And really just embrace that we are loved unconditionally, and we need to do that for ourselves. That's what the angels want us to do, and they want us to spread that. You know, it's really important.
Spread that unconditional love. Spread that unconditional, find it in ourselves, exalt in it, and appreciate it, and spread that unconditional love.
I think the other thing is too, you know, the angels, when they look at you, this is going to make you get goosebumps as well. But when they look at you, they don't see you in the physical side of things. What they do is they see you through the soul, which is in the heart space. The heart space is where the seat of our soul is. So they're looking at that, and what they can see, Sherry, is they can see the badges of honor that you've had throughout your life. They don't see anything else other than that wonderful, honorable person that you are, that magnificent soul that you are. Forget all the naughty things you think you've done. They see them and they light up. Your heart space just lights up, and that's a beacon to the angels. And there's, you know, Sherry down there. Oh, look at the amazing things she's done. She doesn't even realize that she's done, you know. And when you feel that within yourself, it is just overwhelming. And people need to understand that, you know, that they are totally loved no matter what.
Now, your book, again, Angelic Guidance, where do we get the book?
You can get it anywhere online, Amazon, anywhere. You can just type it in and you will get it, and there's probably varying prices for it as well. But you can get it cheap, or you can get it as an ebook as well. So when you type it in, it will just show you all the different places to get it. So, yeah, it's everywhere.
I love it. I love it.
And the book was completed 3 months after my grandmother had died, and she was living with me, and I cared for her up until the end. Oh. So yeah. So I sort of was a bit blocked while I was looking after her, but as soon as she was gone, everything just opened up. So yeah, it's amazing.
Oh,
I'm really
wow.
proud to get it out there because, obviously with my schooling and the way things were, I didn't finish high school. I haven't, I used to stutter profusely when I was young, so I would never have thought of going on video or speaking or doing seminars or anything like that.
Wow.
And my dad being a professor of English, I'm like, oh, he's going to be watching everything I write. And, just pressure. But I let it all out there and I just share from the heart. So, yeah, I'm just glad people enjoy it.
Oh, they do. I do. I truly enjoy I so enjoy your work. I enjoy your radiance. I enjoy the accessibility of your message. And it is so simple and so loving. And I love that you walk people through what can be a pretty emotional process of allowing themselves to be loved. So right now is a perfect time for us to jump into your spiritual mentoring. Tell me how that works.
Yes.
Tell me how that works.
Okay. Well, yeah. What it is a 4 or 6 week course, and it's basically getting a person to a point of the deepest healing that they can get to, so they can do the things that they want to do. So in other words, if someone came to me and said, I really want to open up my abilities for healing, or I want to open up my third eye, or I want to do this, or I want to do that, then they can't get to that point until we've gotten to the bottom of everything that's happened in their life. So for over the 4 to 6 weeks, I work with them intensely on breaking down their life, breaking down their patterns or their beliefs, and working on different, like structuring within the body. I work on all the cording system, because there's a big system within our body that connects us to different people who are in our life, and also from past lives, our connection to the divine, everything. And it can be all jumbled up throughout life experience. And we find that, people can't get over hate, or they can't get over guilt because of all this cording system within the body. And this is something that the angels taught me to do, and I just trust it again. And people have me one-on-one for that time, and we get ourselves formulate a plan of action, and then away we go together. And by the end of it, they are completely different people than what they were at the beginning, and they're ready to kick off with their own career and their own life, because they feel that confidence, And I keep going. I said to them, I say to everyone, look, I'm not just going to dump you after 6 weeks. You need to keep in contact with me. Let me know what's going on. And, so it's ongoing. After they've had that first initial thing, I can't just let people go, and that's half of my problem. I check in on people,
That's a beautiful thing. Now, again, back to here's a perfect quote from your book that describes what you do, which is with this mentoring, because you say your acceptance of angels in your life will be the greatest awakening to your spirituality, your career, your family, your love, your creativity, and your healing. So you plug people in and allow the angels to come in and heal with their permission and with your help, and you get them on their path. And that's a brilliant service.
Yeah. I feel like the way that I've sort of seen it visually with what I'm doing is that everybody is on this winding path in their life journey. They're going through experiences and off they go, and they're winding along. And I'm the little person that's just on the sidewalk, and I'm waving at them and I'm saying, hello, I'll help you. I'll help you. And then, I do that. I try my best to help them, to help themselves, and off they go again. I don't want people to keep on feeling like they need to come back. By the time they've left me, I want them to be able to just go off and experience, and never, and understand enough through me and through what I'm doing that they are confident enough to do that. So in other words, some people want back for readings or keep coming. I don't promote that at all. If I never hear from you again, that means I've done a good job.
But also though, you tape record the readings that you do for
Yeah.
them. You do a
Yes.
reading every week. So they have plenty
Yeah.
to really delve into. And honestly, I mean, you can listen to the same piece of material 100 times and gain something different from it because you're working on so many levels when you're tuning in. Right. I get it. Allow yourself to expect goodness even though you don't believe you deserve it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you know, such an incredibly kind and important message for all of us. All of us
Yeah,
who...
we beat ourselves up enough, you
Oh,
know.
honey.
We've got to stop doing it.
We've got to stop doing it. Yeah,
And
because...
comparing ourselves, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and just focus on the heart and say, you know what, we're all doing the best we can. And as long as our intention is a good one, we're not doing anything wrong, you know. Gosh.
Stop, you know, and what I hear you saying too is stop judging yourself. Just cut it out.
It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And you have this, you're a mom. Obviously, we just talked at the beginning of the interview, you're a mom, and you'll have this thriving business that you've moved to Adelaide, and the man of your dreams, your twin flame is flying in, and you're starting your new life together, and you've got a new book, and you've got these wonderful cards for people who are wanting to start to channel with the angels and touch. You know, get your own deck, get the Domino Angels and tune into this amazing person. When's the next time you're going to offer a live Facebook?
Oh, the live Facebook. Probably within the next couple of weeks. I've just had a little bit of technicality with the internet here for some reason.
Sure.
It's dropping in and dropping out. So as soon as we get that sorted out, then I am on Facebook. And I love doing the Facebook Live because I never know who's coming in, and it's so exciting. And we all get excited. We're all ooh,
yeah,
you know? And it's fun. It's fun, and it's not scripted, and it's all on the spot. And I love that because that's how I work. Everything on the spot.
Yeah.
So it's awesome.
It is awesome. People will be able to go to your Facebook page, which is.
Yep, Divine Miracles. All social media at Divine Miracles, and my YouTube channel is the same.
And there's Divine lots Miracles, of you on YouTube.
Oh my God! 500 videos or something. I look at it and I'm like, what? Because I make a video and I don't. I'm like anybody else. I'm my own worst critic at times. So I just make a video and I click press upload and I don't touch it because otherwise if I look at it, I'll go, oh my Lord.
There you go.
You know, you start to worry. But the ones that I've worried about or thought maybe I've said too much or maybe that was too deep or maybe I shouldn't have cried in that bit, those ones are the ones that people have loved the most. It's the ones that we are the most self-conscious about. Everybody else thinks that was awesome.
Yeah.
So I just leave it now. I got over myself.
Oh. But I am not going to say goodbye before we just have a moment where you can get quiet and you can talk. And you can say anything you want to say.
Okay. Well, I guess the biggest message I'm feeling at the moment comes from Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is there for absolutely everybody. And it's your go-to angel. And what he's saying to you is have peace in your heart where everything is okay. You're on the right path no matter what's going on in your life. You are loved absolutely unconditionally, and we are cheering you on, and we will be cheering you on right through your entire life with whatever it is that you choose to do. Live for your happiness. Allow dreams to come true for you. Manifest the things that you want in your life with the way that you're thinking. And most of all, love yourself unconditionally and share this with other people. And that's it.
Oh, thank you, Becky. If you liked this recording and benefited from it, please, for heaven's sake, share it with your friends. If you loved it and want to hear more, go to theglitchmovie.com/how to connect with angels, where you can listen and subscribe. Thank you so much.
You've been listening to another fabulous program on Angel Heart Radio. Our goal is to remind you of how much you matter in the world and to let you know that we appreciate who you are in the world. You can check out who's on, when we're on, and who our guests are at angelheartradio.com. Everything is there. It's all just one click away. Angel Heart Radio programs are powerful tools to help you in your life and your life experience. They are not intended, nor should they be used to replace your medical or legal advice. The views and opinions expressed by Angel Heart Radio hosts, guests, co-hosts and associates should not be construed as advice from Angel Heart Radio.